up, everybody? I'm back from my trip to fucking the Mideast. So, anyway, let me add Miss Melanie right off the bat.
Hello.
Hello. Why did somebody say white hair in the white hair? I ain't got white hair. My hair's not white, it's blonde.
Oh, he's talking about me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
Kind of sad.
How are you, James?
I'm doing well. I'm back from my trip to the Mideast. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, how did that go?
It went well. You know, I went to the Ukraine first, and then I went to Israel, and then I went to Jordan, and then I stopped in Egypt.
Nice. How was the Ukraine?
It wasn't like a Rocky movie, I can tell you that. It was kind of, it reminded me of like Philadelphia for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't, you know, I was in Kyiv, whatever the hell the name of the capital is. So it was, it was city.
I forget what the capital of Ukraine is. That was a long time ago when I studied the Russian. So. Yeah, I forget.
And Israel was cool, you know. I did the Jerusalem and the Dead Sea, and swam in the Mediterranean, went surfing, got laid a couple of times.
Yes.
That's always fun. That's always a fun part of going away, is getting laid and never have to talk to them again.
I miss you. I wish you would come to Combo Breaker or like CEO.
I really, and nothing against Jabali, but I really wanted to go to Combo Breaker this year. But unfortunately, the way I planned this trip out, which was pretty shitty, I came back to a stack of bills.
Yeah, I know that.
A lot of fucking bills. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta pay this crap now? So pretty much now, I've been working as many hours as I can get. And whenever I'm not working, I'm at the gym. Yeah, I'm fucking getting pumped. So I could choke to death some of these fucking FGC guys.
So does that mean you're going to come to Evo then?
I'm going to shoot for Evo. I'm sure Mr. Wiz is going to love having me there.
Well, CEO's at the end of June. Combo Breaker's in 2 weeks. CEO is the end of next month.
I might be able to do CEO still. Maybe.
You know, it wasn't last weekend. It was the weekend before. We had a Red Bull Proving Grounds here, and I had totally forgotten about it until like the day before somebody told me about it. Biggie was there, Persia was there, and Jabali was there, which I was shocked about. Rick was there. So yeah, and I didn't know. I knew that Biggie was going to be there because I had seen on Facebook he had posted about being in Chicago, but I didn't know like everyone else was going to be there. I was like, oh, okay. And Jabali was like cool about it. It was funny because he had reassured me the reason that our panel had gotten not approved was because it was actually full. And I was like, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, we were joking with you. Like, he was like thinking that we would go and like set up a panel and be like, oh, fuck CEO or fuck Jabali. And we're like, and I was telling him, I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, why would we have done that?
This is where, the FGC, if a TO thinks that way, what the fuck do you think the players are going to think in their minds?
Oh, yeah. Some players act scared. I can't even front and say, like, players in general act scared, because I won't say that, because that's not true. But some players do act scared now, and I was actually just speaking to someone on the phone about this and saying how it's so funny, especially, like, being... now at this point, oops, I dropped my water. Now at this point, it's 2 years of being affiliated with OBS officially. And I guess people realize it wasn't like a fluke and they're like scared because they realize like how much I either know about them or just like in general are just scared of OBS. And one quote that I remember being told directly was that, oh, I just don't want to be affiliated with a drama anymore, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, we don't go and search for things that we talk about on the show. Like, people will legit tell us. I don't know how many times we have to say that. I will get so many DMs, and people, even like my real life friends that have nothing to do with the FGC, they will send me messages or whatever. I'll be like, just send me a text message, because people don't realize how many notifications I get all day, and on Twitter, on Facebook, on DMs, on whatever. And it's like, I mean, I care about the community, but this isn't all that I do, and I have a real job and real other stuff that I do. I can't sit and talk with you about this all day.
And some of the stuff that these guys will hit you up, listen, oh my God, this couple broke up, you got to put it on blast. What?
No one cares. Yeah, what? That's not our business, and it's not anyone else's business. It's strange. People are weird in the community because they don't have social skills.
I mean, now, hitting on social skills, a little of something that I'm going to talk about. I know you got to get up early tomorrow. I do too, actually, but I'm looking to invite my friend on the show.
Who's that?
I'm just going to do this.
Yeah. Where is my husband, Mr. Allcaps, my other husband?
Now, do you see what I'm doing on the camera?
Oh, okay.
So I figure by that time, you should be at level 99. Once the talking starts, and you'll be like, yo, I just gotta go.
Well, can we talk about? Because I know, I was getting tagged and stuff, and I know that you were telling me about stuff when you had come back from your trip. It's just, Demon Eyes 13 said, isn't that the light-skinned Timmery? Yes, it is me. That's so funny. That cosplay was legit from 13 years ago. That's so funny. I had posted an old Facebook memory from ASIN 12 years ago. Yeah, oh my God. I had completely forgotten about that. Anyway, but yeah, so let's talk about Texas Showdown. I watched Friday and Saturday, but I had a bunch of stuff to do on Sunday, and I couldn't watch finals, but I did see that Mena RD won Street Fighter. And that I ended up watching this compilation of him winning because I guess Knuckle said that he was sponsored by his wallet, and I guess Mena RD at the end says something like, "Oh, I guess that wallet was empty," and because the audience was heckling Mena RD and cheering for Knuckle, and Knuckle got bodied. It was just funny to me because it's well, sometimes your heroes aren't always your heroes, and that just sucks. But, I mean, I don't know. I just feel bad that people gave Mena RD so much flack, but him and Knuckle are both Capcom Cup champions, and it should not be that type of animosity from, the crowd. I don't know. It's just weird. The FGC is weird about
weird.
Stuff
it's
like
weird
that.
Because it's they bitched that only the top players get any clout, anything, and Mena comes out of nowhere and dominates, just like fucking Ramen Noodlehead.
Yes.
When he came out, and people were like, "Oh my God, Punk is the shit." And then all of a sudden now,
Ramen Noodlehead.
and then all of a sudden, people are hating on them, and it's like, wait, you didn't want Justin and crew to be the dominating force. Now all of a sudden that they're not, you're shitting on the new guys that are coming in.
Yeah, and Justin didn't even get top 8 in Street Fighter. I think it was top 16 he at least made, but he won some other stuff. I think he won First Strike, and he had won some other stuff because I looked at the results.
Yeah.
But he didn't make top 8 in Street Fighter 5. And it's like people get so attached to the way things used to be, and that actually kind of segues into this Richard Lewis stuff, because it's like, I mean, Justin cannot win forever. No. He can't. I mean, that is impossible. He's not a machine, and you know, people get older, they get tired, and their reflexes are off. Eventually, that's what happens to the human body. That's not, I mean, I'm shocked that more players actually don't develop carpal tunnel or arthritis or something earlier because of like their concentration for pressing buttons depending on what they play on, if it's pad or arcade stick. And I mean, that's just real. It's not like something to say to be mean. It's not something imaginary.
It's just reality.
If it's reality, even if you look at something in the profession like ballerinas, for example, ballerinas have a time limit to maybe 25 for them being ballerinas professionally, and then they cannot do it anymore because there's such a heavy demand on their bodies. And if you think about top players playing constantly for X amount of days, X amount of hours per day to train to make it to the top. Of course you can do it when you're a teenager and then like in your early 20s, but later on, like your late 20s to 30s, it's like, well, you know,
that's like, it. It's a wrap. You know, I mean, look, you know, I get, you know, I mean, we had that one knucklehead that one time that I told you, the original guest that I had on the show, and you know, he was giving me slack on Twitter, and it was like, oh, you don't compete no more. Do you motherfuckers know I'm almost 50 years old?
Yeah.
Like guys, I'm almost a half a century old. Literally.
Seriously.
And guys are going, you can't compete no more. I'm fucking old. Exactly. I got the reflexes of a fucking senior citizen center.
Exactly.
You know, but I still come.
And support the events. And even like with me, when people, it is funny because so many people would like come to me, oh, well, I've never seen you compete, blah, blah, blah. And I would explain to them, you know, all of the games I was good at are dead. People like completely abandon them. And there are new games that I would like to play. I probably won't be good at them, but I mean, I have a real medical condition. I don't have good reflexes. My hands shake, my arms shake. I can't grip things very well. It sucks. And that's just real.
Guys say it to me as if I don't want to play.
Yeah. It's or like it makes you less of part of the community. Like, who are you? Where'd you come from?
Oh, checking the message.
Oh, no, it's all good.
You know, it's like nothing a snort of coke can't fix. Yeah, that's true. You know, that's true. I mean, I could bounce off of fucking walls, but you know, it's like, you know, for a while I was playing Tekken 7, and then you know, real life kicked in, and you know, I don't have the time to put in the practice.
That's another thing too, just not having the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, so in between working all day, every day, versus getting home, doing other things that you have to do at home, and training to play at the next tournament. It's like, when is there time for that? Like, I don't know. Especially like, so. Oh my gosh, it's all caps.
Blip, 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 blip. Uh-oh, what happened? Did I lose them both? What was that all about? What the hell? Hold on a second here. Everybody just dropped. Let's add the group again.
Hello?
Hold on.
Sorry.
What did I do here? What the fuck did I do here? That was kind of odd. Let me drop you a sec. Let me re-add everybody. Here we go.
Hi.
All right, you're back, and Chris is back. There we go.
Yay.
All right, we got everybody back. What's up, Chris?
Chris, I miss you.
What's
Even
going
though I
on?
saw you at Michigan Masters.
So we were just talking about, the Texas Showdown, the cheering against Menra, and just, motherfuckers got to remember, people get old. Reflexes slow down, People bitched and moaned. They were sick of seeing Justin and friends winning all the events. And then all of a sudden, Ramen Noodlehead.
First G.
Yeah, Ramen Noodlehead and Menra come onto the scene and start doing some damage. And all of a sudden, they're the fucking enemies.
Yep.
And again, I don't begrudge people picking and choosing sides who cheer on and shit. But you can't tell me that ever since that whole, what was the dude's name that was with him, that was fucking really loud and obnoxious at...
Kaba.
Kaba. After Kaba, that kind of turned people off. And and it's like now, it's like more now, they labeled them the dicks.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it was definitely like an underlying racial thing.
Yeah.
Just like when Korn was in full force and that became like here come like the loud, ignorant niggas from Detroit because that's what it was. And regardless of people saying it directly or saying it in hints or saying it in passing, I would hear those things and I would see those responses. And it was funny because even like before OBS with James, people were so concerned when I befriended Korn when they were like all in full force, and it was like oh no, we lost her, and I wanted to be like, okay, y'all know that I'm like from the south side of Chicago, right? Like I relate to them more than y'all. You all are all from the suburbs here, so. And you all don't even come to like our local stuff in the city, so stop.
And the hitting on the Richard Lewis stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm fucking baffled, dude. It truly baffles me. These guys turn around and they're like, "Hey, Richard Lewis choked somebody. Oh, by the way, Richard Lewis, if I see you, I'm swinging on you." What?
Yeah. Okay, please explain, because I did like look at a good portion of the stuff and I looked at that recap video. Where did all of this begin? Like, what triggered this recent thing?
Richard Lewis, had made a comment along the lines of, the top players in the FGC could excel so much more if they kind of separated the top players from the nobody players.
Okay.
And now he called them losers, which they are. I mean, they are losers. Listen, you could take it any way you want. You could take it because you don't bathe, because you can't, or because you can't get laid, or you can't even make top 8 in your game. But no matter which one of those avenues of life you've chosen, at the end of the day, every path for those leads you to the same place. You're a loser.
Yeah.
You are not a winner. You don't get the pussy. You don't get the trophy. You don't get the money.
And to be also real about it, the top players now that are top players, before they were top players, they were losers too.
Yes.
This is like
you need to be a loser before you can be a winner.
Exactly. That's just granted. What? Like, okay. I'm sorry. Continue, James.
So what wound up happening is, Sonic had gotten involved in the conversation. Yeah. And, I've known Sonic since he was like 12 years old. and I still like the kid. He's not a kid. Listen.
Yeah, he's in college now, right?
You can sign up for the service, motherfucker. That means you can get punched in the mouth. Right. And he went into the alt-right shit.
Oh my God.
So, Richard Lewis basically said, here, listen, getting preached to by a guy an adult that dresses up in a fucking a fursuit and fucks each other. Don't tell me about, what's right and wrong, and it led on.
Yeah, I did see that.
It led on to an onslaught of randoms and some other people in the FGC giving that whole mantra, if you go after Sonic, you go after the whole FGC. Let me ask you a question. Now,
no, that's not true.
Exactly.
One person doesn't represent everyone. And then I also saw Ray Ray say something, which was very funny.
I kind of said to Ray Ray, I kind of said to Ray Ray on that, I went, hey, Ray Ray, I'm a couple of blocks away from your ass.
Yeah, and Ray Ray has done some very sketchy stuff to me, and which I am not going to talk about on the OBS show right now, but I'm sure he remembers.
I mean, and you don't have to say it, but let's say this.
And the people that were there remember.
What is that stupid saying? Don't throw rocks in glass houses, motherfuckers. In
glass houses, exactly.
And like Redline said, Sonic Fox can defend himself. So what happened is, it now went into, if I see you, I'm swinging on you. First of all, you FGC motherfuckers, I tweeted it out there. You see me at an event, you need to do one of two things. Sit down with me at the bar and talk to me as a person, or swing on me, and you're going to have to sucker punch me. But you better make sure you fucking kill me.
Because it's so, when did all of these players become so tough?
I thought we wanted the corn folks out of this community.
Yeah, right. Wasn't that such a problem?
Now we got mini cobs. We got mini cobs running around thinking they're all corn now and shit.
That's what's so funny about it. Everyone thinks that they can pull this thug card, and they forget that people like Reno Rex was real, and Adonis was real, and Corn was real, and people in the FGC forget that some people that come to events will put on a pleasant face to be in events, but you cannot G-check somebody when you're assuming that you know where they're from, or what they've grown up in, or whatever. And we've talked about this many times on the show and separate from the show. You and me, James, me and Chris, me and other people. Real recognizes real, period. And you can tell who's about that and who is not. And it's just funny when Richard Lewis saying something spawns this whole thing. And I don't have anything against Sonic Fox. I will be 100% real. I've never had a real conversation with Sonic Fox, but I have a lot of friends in the FGC who are really cool with Sonic Fox. He seems like a sweet kid. I have nothing against him. But again, you should not just talk out the side of your mouth to someone that you really don't know. Because I like Richard. And I think he's cool. And, he doesn't seem like that person that would just back down and be like, oh, well.
No, he's absolutely not going to back down. He's not going to back down. He's got the same problem I got. Listen, I could be wrong in the argument, but I'll keep the argument going forever.
Exactly.
If I can't win the argument based on the facts, I'll win the argument by keeping that fucking fight going until you're just like, yo, man, I just gotta go, man. That's it. You win.
Yeah. And it really, the argument at this point, especially with he's alt-right and he's blah, 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 blah. It is just like a grasping at straws. And it's like people are upset that he calls out the community for what it is in this current state. No one is saying that FGC cannot grow from this. No one is saying that the FGC can't be eSports or you cannot be eSports the way things are right now. Not at all. No. What do you all think?
And so Kuro, so Kuro's in the chat. Richard went hard on people that didn't even make threats. You know what though? You gotta understand. I went through it a lot, but the guy's getting threats constantly.
Like more than us.
More than I'm gonna bring Triforce on here because me and Triforce are gonna celebrate that we are no longer the most threatened people in the FGC.
And most hated, yeah.
I mean, the hate. The guy gets a fucking security guard to go to an event.
Yeah.
You know, and again, you know, when I keep hearing this fucking alt-right shit, I keep telling people, all right, show me an article that he wrote.
And that was alt-right.
That was anything alt-right. He writes an article about
promoting that.
You know.
The other thing too that's funny is like when he had gotten another opportunity and separated himself from E-League, and the people are like, oh yeah, oh we got rid of him. No, FGC, you didn't. You didn't get rid of him. Stop taking credit for things that you have not done. You did not do that. He had already had, and the OBS show also had nothing to do with that. So his appearances on the OBS show had nothing to do with that either. FYI. So
now, Sarvitz, you know, he said, you know, I tried to apologize for all the bullshit he has to deal with, and he was still not cool. You know, but it's like
the damage was kind of done.
The damage is kind of done already. You know, this, you know, the guy. Listen, you know, alt-right thing. You know, perfect thing is with the alt-right stuff. Okay. If I turn around and I work for a fucking pizzeria in Brooklyn that's owned by John Gotti, does that mean I'm the mafia?
No.
No, it means I work in a fucking pizzeria that a fucking mobster owns. That don't make me the mob. And the fact that he's written articles for alt-right groups, alt-left groups, but the articles are fucking technology shit, video games.
Exactly.
He's not turning around and saying, yo, video game we got a clan meeting next week down in Georgia. You should come check it out. No, he's not. He's trying to make a fucking paycheck, you know. And if you base, you know, if you base the beliefs of Richard based on who he works for, that's fucking stupid. Everybody's got to make a paycheck.
Exactly.
You know, Caps, you work in a bank. You're part of the greedy capitalist pigs. You know, and it's you know, and it's like, what the fuck out of it? I got to get paid.
Exactly.
You know, Grand Double
Caps,
Dragon.
what do you think? You're all quiet and like about to pass out on us. Get it together, husband.
You know what's funny? I don't even know. I'm be honest. Hold on, let me turn this shit. Hold on. Back to my position here. So, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what the fuck is going on, nor do I really give a fuck, honestly, because I'm getting really tired of explaining the same shit to the same retarded ass community.
Yeah.
Like, y'all niggas cry about bullshit. Y'all complain about bullshit. And then no matter what's given to you or what's being shared or how many sponsors we get or how much limelight we get or how much light we in or if we in a bad light, if we in a good light, y'all niggas don't give a fuck. And I'm tired of saying the same shit. Leave niggas the fuck alone. Honestly, leave niggas the fuck alone. Because a nigga like me will come to an event and punch you in the fucking face, B. I'm just tired. I'm tired. Niggas are corny. All you motherfuckers are cornballs. Mm-hmm. All you motherfuckers ain't about shit. That's why y'all love watching the fucking show. That's why y'all love to say the shit y'all say. None of y'all will go and say that same shit to Richard Lewis's face if he came to a fucking, if he come to comic record at the end of this month. None of you motherfuckers gonna say the same shit you saying now. Period.
Exactly. I had somebody tell me the other day that during a business meeting, they had somebody threaten them with goons. And it was like, oh, because this person had proven the other person in the business meeting wrong when dude had claimed that he had all these connections or whatever. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, that's not accurate what you just said. So what are you trying to tell us? Well, and old boy had like threatened goons on like, oh, if I ever see you in real life, this and that. And I was like, what kind of, who do you think you are? This is the FGC. This isn't the mob.
And see, shit like Master Steve. And I don't even really like to go into the comments of the chat because most of you motherfuckers are dick eaters anyway. But let's go to the chat. Let's entertain you little dick eaters for a minute. Master Steve, how about you tweet me that way I know who you really are, and then I'll literally pay for Richard Lewis plane ticket to Comma Breaker. And I want to see you say that shit to that nigga. And if you do, I got $500 for you. Okay, just so I can see him punch you in the fucking face.
Well, there we have it. So that is an ultimatum that is on the table. And
then from my understanding, from what I did hear or see, something about Sonic Fox was trying to go ham on him.
Yeah.
Calling him an alt-righter.
And Ray Ray was co-signing him.
But I'm gonna get to that nigga in a minute too with his dick eating ass. And that's real shit, dick sucker. Didn't Richard Lewis at one point like protect Sonic Fox or say some good shit about Sonic Fox?
Yeah. But again, now here's what's funny about that. All right. So remember when we had Richard on and Pig at a Hut and them went back and forth in the chat and making peace when they had their little war about it was the whole alt-right and every white guy that writes or does something isn't part of a clan or a secret club or an alternate agenda or whatever the fuck it is, and it was proven. In fact, from what I was told by Pig and by Richard, they have since made peace. Again, another success story from OBS. They made peace. But this, part of that was this whole mantra of them being alt-right and, all this bullshit. So, Sonic grabbed onto that, and it's the first thing he says. He's all right. He's all right. So, Richard Lewis, like anybody defending himself, basically went into him about him and his fucking in fursuit type shit.
Yeah. And then so someone in the chat had mentioned something about Ultra David too. Like, what is Ultra David's deal? Because that was why I really wanted to have LTG on so he could talk about that, because I don't think has even made a video for his own channel about that stuff yet. I hope he comes to Combo Breaker so you all can have a chat.
Yeah, that nigga might not want to chat with me.
But
see, this is the Uncle Cass is tired of the bullshit thing. Right
I see you are over it.
But you know what? You're right. But that's the thing. You're right because of the simple fact that, like, I keep hearing people saying we're evolving. What the fuck are you retards talking about?
Or evolving into what?
Into what? eSports comes knocking on your door, you're like, fuck yous, we don't want your shit. Grassroots say, we got your back, you're like, fuck you, we want you to make your shit big like eSports. So you're talking to the guys like Rick and Big E and Larry and fucking Alex Vi. Man, you guys got to build your events up. You got to make them bigger and better like eSports. And they're like, yo, motherfucker, I'm doing what I can. And that's not good enough. So
it's never good enough.
So eSports comes around and is like, all right, we're going to start fucking with you guys. And then you're like, fuck you, man. We don't want your shit. So really what it comes down to is people like Ultra David. Perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
These are the guys that put in time in this community and they never got to reap the rewards they felt they deserved. Now, other companies are coming in and we're like, well, we don't need no Ultra David. We got our own broadcasters.
Yeah.
So you ain't getting a piece of the pie. Therefore, if I'm not getting a piece of the pie, I must be against it. So let me rally people against it. So think about this. The people that you are listening to, look at them as a person and what they've done in the scene. First of all, I love Sonic Fox. He's a good kid. He didn't do nothing for the community, you fucking morons. He took you motherfuckers for $400,000 is what he did.
Yeah.
That's not doing for the community. I go work 40 hours a week. I get paid for it. I don't do it for the company. I do it so I can pay my fucking bills.
Exactly.
You know,
see, it'd be different if you was like, what's my little nigga name? My little nephew, Dude.
Oh yeah.
Different if he was like Knuckle Dude. Every year since Knuckle Dude became the shit,
send somebody to tournaments.
he sent somebody to Evo.
Yep.
Like some Oprah shit. I can respect that.
Right.
You know, and when you look at somebody like David gets paid to commentate. He gets paid decent money to go commentate for a weekend. Probably makes more money commentating.
And he's a lawyer.
But
he does not need any more money from.
Wait! Correct yourself, because I don't know how I don't know how good of a fucking lawyer he is.
But see, look, this is the funny part. Y'all remember Ski Sonic, right?
Of course.
He got replaced.
Yep.
Sure did.
Guess what? It might be your turn, David.
Yep.
And I have nothing against David. I like David. Me and David talked on a personal level quite a few times. But it might just be your turn, nigga. You can't hold it forever. Sometimes you gotta pass the torch, baby.
Exactly what I was saying earlier about the top player syndrome. And people like develop these heroes. And I mean, Justin is just a good flagship example because Justin has won so much. And I mean, he cannot do this forever. Combo Fiend could not do it forever. Combo Fiend he got a job at Capcom and was like, can't do it no more, bye. That's it. That happens. And people grow up or they get older or they're just not as good anymore because reflexes or whatever. Life happens to people. People cannot play fighting games competitively at a top level forever. Period. Sorry to surprise y'all.
People have to understand everything
runs its course. Yep.
Nothing lasts forever.
Except
at some point in time.
Except there's an exception. We're the only motherfucking show still around. Hold that L, motherfuckers. You thought I was going to be gone in a week. You thought I was going to be gone in a motherfucking week. 2012, bitches.
But guess what? The show gonna run, but it's gonna be a new Melanie. It's gonna be a new All Caps. It's gonna be a new James and K. At some point. At some point.
That's true too.
And at some point, we gonna have to pass the torch to them little motherfuckers and let them run rampant how we do now.
I told you guys. I told you guys already. I already told you. You are my hand-picked. Continue the show, but inevitably I feel for you because you're going to have to pass it to one of these motherfuckers. My decision was easy. You guys are going to be like, what do I want? I got an anime guy. I got a furry. I got some wannabe gangster. I got... What the hell's my selection? Yeah.
No, this is my next thing.
Oh.
See, I'm not the type of nigga to dwell on bullshit too long. This shit just like some straight bullshit to me. So what was Ray Gay? I mean, my fault, Ray. Yeah.
Ray was saying that he would knock out anybody that came at Sonic Fox. He said this on Twitter.
Anybody that talked bad about him to his face. Now, you know damn well I'm going to Summer Jam. I'm walking right in the door. I'm going to say, Sonic Fox sucked my dick. Now what, motherfucker?
I'm just going to say this. I'm going to get a little close.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Ray. How you doing, everybody? Before you start threatening niggas in any kind of physical form or fashion, you might want to worry about placing in the motherfucking game before Panda Global drop your bitch ass. That's what you will be worried about. Because I know that contract about to be a real soon. Because you've been placing this shit, boy. That's what you better be worried about. See, you niggas worry about the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? You worry about was getting some fucking money in your pocket, boy. Not this little fake ass Twitter finger shit. Next nigga.
It's so true, though. Oh, it's so true. And it's just like... I can't even articulate a better phrase than what Chris just said, because it's just true. If you are sponsored as a player, as you're represented by a team, by a sponsor, whatever, do that. Stop involving yourself in stupid Twitter stuff. Whether you agree or you don't agree, if y'all think that y'all such celebrities, act like that. choose to be better than involving yourself in so. A lot of people see stuff that they don't agree with. I see stuff every day that I don't agree with on the internet, whether I talk about it or not. Constantly see stuff. People say stuff I don't agree with on Twitter, on whatever. I don't react to everything. People legit DM me stuff just so they think that I'll react to it.
It's sad. That's
you
so
choose
true.
what you can respond to or
There's
not.
so much shit
Let
that I
it
get
go.
sent. There's so much shit that I get sent like that.
That had nothing. Y'all two niggas don't even play the same fucking games. Please stop it.
Please stop. Stop trying to be. Don't be internet thugs. Don't be Twitter thugs. Y'all are not about that life. Sonic Fox most definitely ain't about that life. Ray ain't about that life. Stop. Seriously, stop.
And
all of the people that are co-signing them, y'all ain't either.
Niggas want to fight. Come fight me, and I got money for the first nigga that beat me. I sponsor me. I'm my own sponsor.
So do I.
But the thing is, it's like, when you look at this whole overall picture, regardless to what Richard Lewis said, regardless, it don't matter. Regardless to who he goes after, okay? The fact is, it's like he has a belief, and that belief he didn't pull it out of his ass about the FGC. He's seen it now firsthand. And he's seen it enough firsthand that now, and I said this to people months and months and months ago, if you shit on these esports, you guys, they're just going to leave.
Exactly.
But they already gone. James, I was just talking to the fellas about this before I got on the show. What the fuck sponsor team is left besides Echo?
That's it.
F3. And that's it.
That's it. There's like 5 of them at best. And when we say sponsors, we mean like legitimate. Like,
no, you can name
corporation.
5. I'm being for real. What team is that?
Panda,
yes,
Echo. Panda, Echo,
F3. Is Liquid still around?
Liquid is around, but they had that issue.
They left the FGC though, right?
Yeah, they left the FGC, but it was
Let me make this clear. I'm not talking about niggas like
EG.
I'm not talking about like other niggas who that they only sponsor like Counter-Strike. I'm talking about niggas who are in the FGC. Who do we have?
Does Red Bull sponsor players?
But now, hold on a second. George9897 said, Echo Fox will never leave the FGC because Echo Fox is a multi-million-dollar company. You're absolutely incorrect on that, dude, because the fact of the matter is, there's some fucking accountant that's going to go, yo, Mr. Rick Fox, we got to kind of talk. Like, you're sponsoring this FGC, and it's a good write-off for us, but it's bleeding us. Piss your money away somewhere else, and that's what happens with these companies.
It's because he did the smart thing and bought all the powerhouse players.
Yeah,
exactly.
Players that won every time they've been to. So on his note, he's gonna be switching our players from who was the shit to who's the shit now.
Exactly.
And it's smart because that means no matter what happens, your players are always winning. I'm not mad about that. That's a smart power move right there.
Yep.
Have a shit you could do when you got money. But the rest of these teams not going for that shit. Who? Red Bull. Who they got? Snake Eyes? That's one nigga. He don't even play no more.
Yeah.
Rise got minutes. That's one player. He only won one thing. Get him the fuck out of here.
And Ghost only has K-Brad. And K-Brad is more a personality. I mean, K-Brad places in things, but K-Brad ain't won nothing in a minute.
K-Brad don't even get top 16.
I was just going to say. Exactly. I was going to say, when you say place, I place 985.
Spice left because they dropped champ. Like, there's nobody. Sarika is done. There's no more teams.
Yeah. And what...
Leaving.
The other thing people forget too, Rick Fox is a multi-millionaire. Not Justin and Sonic Fox and the players that are on his team. He is a millionaire because he was a football player.
Basketball.
Not everyone else.
Basketball.
Or basketball, excuse me.
You know what that means? That means he got more sponsorship money than everybody else.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He's pulling a fucking a New York Yankees. He's picking up all the best players.
Okay. And let me make this clear before I see niggas breaking up all these random teams. No disrespect to Virtual Storm, because that's my nigga Pork Chop, that's his team. But that's not a real sponsor to me. We talking about niggas who bring in money, who get paid a nice piece of change. EG players, they get paid salary. Echo Fox player, get paid salary. F3 players, get paid salary. I don't think nobody in Virtual Storm is getting paid salary to play games. So once again, I ask you, out of those three, oh, my fault, you got Razor, but Razor's not even sponsoring niggas no more. Who does Razor have?
I don't think anybody.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Did they drop what's his name? Used to play Gien in Street Fighter 4? Zien. Did they drop him?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Zien is still with them. Somebody
said.
Yeah,
someone said.
Okay. But does he even come play?
No.
See my point?
The scene has gotten so fractured that you don't even see players anymore, really, that you used to see. Even the Asian players are starting to be like, yeah, go kick rocks. You know, the scene has stagnated because of this eSports grassroots fucking little imaginary war that people got going on. And I get people all the time saying, well, you say you're anti-eSports. No, I'm anti-fucking destroying the community, which is what's happening.
And you know what? Because they are sucking the fucking culture out of gaming by trying to make it some whitewash bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you got nothing to sell.
You know, but now it's the infection started on the business side. Well, we can't have this and we can't have that. Now the players have gone into this whitewashing, if you will, telling people how they need to behave at events. You know,
guess what? Suck my fucking dick.
Exactly. You know, and you know what Richard Lewis was kind of stressing before it all got like chaotic was like the people that are winning could make more money if they segregated themselves from the losers of the FGC. That's a fact. You know, that's a fact. But you know, and now he called them losers, you know, I mean, which again, you know, take it how you want. Yeah, take it how you want. But at the end of the day, he spoke what he believed. And he obviously has a track record and has followed this. Like, he didn't just pull that statement out of his ass. And, you know, after Sonic had popped off, I went through all the threats and everything, and you know he blocks you. Listen, your generation created the block button. Back in the day when I was on the internet, there was no motherfucking block button. You had to eat that shit, whatever that person said, or turn your motherfucking computer off. So he blocks people. Now he blocks people pretty loose. Now he's pretty much like, I thought you were going to say something bad, blocked, because I just get sick of hearing it. You know, and it's like this intellectual FGC, so they think.
Right.
Get mad because, they think that you have the right to address me on a topic. If I turn around, let's just hypothetically say something. Again, OBS hypothetical moment. If I turn around and go on Twitter right now and say, I hate all the blacks in the FGC. And how many people are going to come at me? Like when Chris G said that thing about black girl gamers. How many people went after him? Okay.
Yeah.
That's his opinion. He put it out there into the internets and the Facebookies. But let's be real here. It's not a fucking topic for discussion. Like, you could see it and be like, yo, I want to tell that James motherfucker, fuck you. Yeah, you could do that.
Right.
But what I say is what I say. That's not opening up dialogue for discussion on racial equality in the world. That's me saying a statement that I say.
Exactly.
That's it. Topic, discussion, it's over. It's not my...
A very good example of this could be... Perfect example, actually. You and Joey both are Trump supporters. You've said that vocally on many occasions. Chris and I don't care about that. We don't say, that makes me think differently of you. That's your opinion. That's Joey's opinion. Those aren't my views. Those may not be Chris's views. But it's because actually someone has said that in the chat one time, like a couple shows ago. Yeah. When we had D-Dog on the show and he was calling us like coons and stuff. And we were like, that's James's opinion. That's who he voted for. That's not our business. Right. Like, who cares? That, like, y'all are focused on the wrong thing. Ain't this about the FGC?
Actually, matter of fact, that nigga might be my nigga now. He get rid of child support. Shit.
Is that a thing that's happening? Oh, wow.
I might get a Make America Great Again hat up in this motherfucker. All you bitches who like to live off a nigga child support instead of paying for that kid, bitches trying to step up. Or you might want to start sucking your baby daddy dick again. Make America great again, baby. Let's go, Trump.
Oh my God.
That might be my nigga. Shit.
You are a hot mess.
Nigga, I'm never pulling out. From here on out.
Oh man. Hold on a second. Oh shit, I forgot.
Oh my God. Oh, that was funny. How have you been, Chris? I ain't seen you since like a month ago, like around my birthday during Michigan Masters.
I'm just tired, man. Niggas they crying and the bitch shit.
all the whole shit and all the emotions.
Yeah, this pure bitch shit. Like niggas, what are we talking about here? Like, really, are we really talking about a nigga who wear fur hats? Tomorrow he gonna fight a white man from overseas?
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Sonic's not fighting nobody. But see, now, I'm going to say something, and I hate to say it. This is where Sonic disappointed me in one thing that he said. And I was going through all the tweets, and he was arguing with somebody, and he pulled out yeah, but I got $400,000. Shut the fuck up. Your opinion means nothing.
Wow.
And I'm like, yo, listen, if I didn't like Sonic Fox... Oh, you just told me you got $400,000. I know one thing. I could see you at an event and drag your ass to an ATM and you'll be taking out money for me. Guaranteed. Yeah. And tell your little furry gang to come bring their wallets too, because I'll take from them too.
Exactly.
Like, you just put that out there. Like, you know, don't let your emotions get to you. You know, again, whether you think he's all right or whatever, that's regardless.
And don't let your emotions speak for your ego because, first of all, again, do not get Kim Kardashian because you are not about that life. You don't know who be watching your Twitter. Sonic Fox he has a verified Twitter page, I'm assuming. You don't just throw out that kind of information. Why are you letting people know how much money you have, first of all? And people know that you're at NYU. Do not... Don't just toss out all of your info. It's not that deep. This is video games.
Let me correct somebody. Just because you see a nigga with a furry cartoon shit, don't mean that he not gonna whoop your ass. I would never say that. But what I know because I met and sat down and talked with and been in a person's presence, and I'm from the streets. So me being from the streets, I know who is and who is not about that kind of life.
Bingo.
Dead ass. Sonic Fox is, even though he wear a furry hat, it's not about that life. Nah, if I wear a furry hat, I dare you to say something to me because I'm about that. Don't think for a second because a nigga wear a furry hat that he not about that life. We are talking about a specific person, not
yes.
We're not generalizing everybody.
Not generalizing exactly.
So that's where you get it fucked up at. We're not talking about the persona of what it looked like to you. We talking about of the actual person who I and what I know of the person and how I know the person. I know he's not like that.
Just like what we had said earlier this year in regards to the Punk stuff with how he did Big E. That similar thing. Don't talk out of the side of your mouth because you're trying to look cool in front of the internet. That isn't that it was exactly. That's not what you do. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
I would pull up with a tutu on and fuck you up.
I see you jumping out the car with a pink tutu and ballet shoes on and kicking the shit out of somebody.
I'm doing all kind of, what's they call that, parades?
Pirouettes.
It's just sickening to see people try to generalize shit like that and think that they know something about a person. Like, oh no, don't think that. Just like when niggas see Korn playing games, oh yeah, fuck them niggas. And then once we turn around and you see how savage he is, now you want to run and try to go grab Big E. Like Big E supposed to save you. And Big E done told your punk ass to leave.
Stop tagging me, motherfuckers. That's E's biggest fucking post. Stop tagging me in your bullshit.
And even like, and it's so funny how like back when Korn was in full effect, just because it's just easy to use Korn as an example. Back when Korn was in full effect, y'all were a gang. And then, you know, people got sponsored. Then people want to dick ride Alucard or dick ride Footwork. And it's like, come on. Like, y'all were just 6 years ago talking about how Korn was like thugs. Which one is it?
I guess we're seasoned old men now. Nigga, I'll be 89 years old, still screaming dick and get fucked. And I don't like you and all this shit. I'm the same nigga. I don't know what's wrong with niggas now. Y'all niggas, man, what's up? Can we go back to the old days of arcade and I'll take your quarters, nigga, and we can see that balls.
You know, that was the greatest film. Remember when motherfuckers would have like 10 quarters lined up of who's next, and you would just go right in front of them all and put yours and be like, I'm next, motherfucker. What? There ain't no line. You just putting your shit up. I'm telling you, I'm next. Right. And people either held it or you would get that one guy, I was next. And you're like, should I beat his ass or should I just let it go?
And guess what? When you say you was next, you better ready to fight. Because in the real world, in the arcade, and nigga say you ain't got next, nigga. Either you gonna get there, you gonna sit there and get hold in front of your girl, or you gonna fight for that, nigga. What you gonna do?
Exactly.
Now, see me, I blew a nigga shit out, but that's just me.
You know,
I can't speak for the rest of you little cunts.
So I mean, it's like, all right, at the end of the day, so they complained about Richard Lewis choking a guy out at an event and then proceeded to threaten to beat him up.
Yeah, and then it became like the whole, I just don't understand when them too, but I don't understand when like video game nerds became so tough overnight and now they're talking about like scrapping over like something somebody said on Twitter. When did this happen? Like,
and the reason I'll tell you why it's happening. And I hate to blame it, but it's the whole Trump and politics and the touchy-feely new generation of, you know, not everybody gets to have fucking their opinion be the main opinion.
No.
Somebody's opinion is the main opinion. Has racism gotten worse in America? I don't know. I can't speak from experience as somebody that's not a minority, but
I think it's just more on the forefront.
It got brought to the surface more. Exactly. It was always there. It got brought to the surface.
There. Exactly.
So don't come in and tell me how I should feel about appropriations or this and that. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry that I don't go to your cause and go, oh my God. Listen, I don't give a fuck where you come from, what you look like. If you're a cool person, you're a cool person. If you're a dick, join the rest of the dicks that I hate.
Pretty much. It's kind of.
I got a fucking pile. I got a pile of dicks, and you could either be in that pile or you could be in the pile of people that are cool. That's it.
Yeah, and honestly, that's how most people operate. There are some people they don't fuck with. There are some people that they do. That's it. That's how most people operate. Why is it specialized when it's in these social circle things? And it's funny how the FGC and like the other nerd communities do this whole thing of like, oh well, people made fun of me for playing video games, but now I'm famous or like I'm popular. But now you are doing to other people what you were made fun of for.
Yep.
So think about that. I wasn't popular in school at all. I was made fun of. But I don't go and exactly like what you just said, James. I go at people that have come at me sideways. I don't just blanket XYZ type of people.
I don't even do that no more. I just wait till I get older. I wait till I got older and got my swag and start fucking they bitches. It's so cold, baby. What's better than me fucking your bitch?
Exactly. Make fun of the nerds now.
Right. I gave her this Kamehameha Super Saiyan dick and she loved it. Might want to get that bitch a sensory bean so she can wake up and get the fuck on.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's so easy how people forget and they get like a touch of like, oh, I have XYZ amount of followers on the internet, and who cares? None of that is real. None of that is real. Those people aren't your real life friends. They won't defend you if you get into a real fight with someone.
You know what makes me laugh about the internet now?
I'm gonna tell you what's funny. What's funny about this shit is every one of these little top player new niggas. I ain't gonna say the old niggas like Yikes,
right?
And Justin, all them, not the niggas. We talking about the new niggas. All the new niggas don't do none of that funny shit with me because I set a standard that I am not the one to be fucked with or to be acting like I'm a fanboy of yours. I will fuck you up. Yeah, and they know that. They know that. So I don't get treated like a fanboy how they would treat some other random nigga that walk up to them. The niggas show some fucking respect because I demand that. I don't go around and oh my god, you did the fucking into Ultra One. No, fuck that, nigga, you a bum.
See now what you were saying before about with the social media, like social media has gotten so tainted. Again, social media, speaking on psychological term, is for you to be socially active with other people. That's it. But because social media has now become a tool for people, like, have you ever gotten, like, whether it's any of these little apps like Tango or fucking Facebook or Twitter, your account is worth X amount of dollars, it tells you. Oh. And it gives you an actual monetary value to your account. Oh, your account's worth $1.42. What?
Get out of here!
$142 for what? Well, you got X amount of X amount of followers. Therefore, you can generate money.
I did not know it was this late. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sleepy time.
Definitely time for my black ass.
Unfortunately for me, because, now that I go to the gym every night, so when I get done with the show, I got to go to the gym, and then I got to go fucking try and get some sleep. Maybe I'll rope one out, not that you need to know that, and then I'll go to work. I mean, I won't do it like fucking Darkside Phil on stream, but, maybe I'll do my own thing.
I forgot about that.
But next week, James, I got the perfect topic.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I got the perfect topic for next week. I'm going to save it because I actually want some females on this one. I want a mixture. I want to take turns of different callers coming in on this one, because the shit that just been servicing shit is kind of weird, and I want to know where the fuck was I at when this shit was going down. So I will fill y'all in on Twitter
Yeah.
off this later on, because I'm gonna let the wife Miss Mill do all the Twitter fingering. And
You know I will.
I
Are
know.
you? You're not going to tell us like a tidbit of what it's about, or you're just going to? Oh, okay. You're
Nope.
gonna tell us in private.
I'm gonna tell you later. I'm gonna tell you. Don't worry, boo. I'll tell you when we get to it.
I know.
But other than that, I'm about to lay it down because Chase Baker's not playing with my bitch ass.
Yeah. Yo, can you hook me up? Like, I got Chase, man. Can you hook me up? Like, drop a couple of zeros or something in there at the end?
Right, just like
James, you just like a nigga. So, no, niggas are funny. Niggas come with the weirdest, like, a nigga tell you work at the bank, you got the code so we can get in that bitch code.
What's the code to the door? What's the code to the door?
You tell a nigga you work at the pharmacy, and you got the Percocets on deck, nigga. Like, no, nigga.
no.
I ain't got no Xannies, no Molly, no nothing.
Ain't nobody going to jail.
Work
So
at
you
Home
can get
Depot. Got the store credits, nigga, so I can get that shit for the crib. No, nigga. I do not have it.
Speaking on a side note, did you guys watch? They remade the Karate Kid Cobra Kai on YouTube Red.
I heard about. I kept.
It was
Yo, it was fucking tight. It was tight.
Okay.
Johnny's my motherfucker, man. White trash kid, grew up in a rich mom and dad. You're like, yo, I felt for this motherfucker.
It did not end how I thought it was going to end.
Yeah.
The ending,
I gotta watch it.
And then the ending.
Yeah.
Who came back?
Yeah. But now I got to figure this out. You got, and this is what I was like. Does he turn or does he stay with him?
I think the psychological hold that he has on him is going to play a factor.
Yeah.
It's going to play a huge factor because if you notice throughout that series, he kept having that one moment at the end of the tournament when he got choked up.
Yep.
Playing as a flashback on the show. I think that's going to play a huge factor into his behavior as to what he's going to do. And I think the dojo is going to become the bad Cobra Kai again.
Oh snap! Oh, Chris, somebody said that they need the Pastor Cap sermon next week. So I guess whatever you talking about, we gonna need it for that. Put it in our group chat, Chris, because I want to know what this is about.
I got you, and you gonna love it. You gonna love it, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're gonna love this one.
I'm excited.
You're gonna love it. But I'm about to take my punk ass to sleep.
All right.
As always, James, thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Wifey, talk to you later.
Hearts.
And all you little fuckers out here watching the show, thanks for watching. Stop being a dick eater. And start riding Simon Fox dick, because we know he not going to do shit. And hopefully Richard Lewis and my niggas squash that shit, because it ain't that serious.
It ain't.
Okay? And once again, look, I'm tired. I ain't about to go on through this shit.
It's getting old.
Next nigga want to fight or got some problems, come see me. I'm going to alleviate all that shit. I'm going to put my finger in your ass. How about that? We gonna see how tough you is with a finger in your ass.
See now that's the thing. Now I'm gonna educate some people out there. That's the difference from a black man and a white man saying. See, he said I'm gonna stick a finger in his ass. I'm gonna go out into the woods and get some pine cones and stick pine cones in your ass.
See, he's trying to fuck y'all up. See, I'm gone. All right, y'all.
Good night.
Good. So anyway. With that said, we're going to bring in here Mr. Triforce, Melanie.
Okay.
And let me see if I can reach out to him now and add him to the group. Mr. Triforce, where are you? I think he's getting his mic on or something.
Y'all out here, why y'all out here trying to have sex with foliage?
What's up, Mr. Triforce?
Chilling.
Hello.
What's going on, Melly?
So, what do you think, Triforce? Like, dude, we've gotten hate over the years, but I don't think we ever had the furry nation chase us down. On some death threats and everything, fucking people up. I'm like, damn. Well, I mean, I'm sure you've gotten your share of it. Nobody's ever death threatened me.
Yeah, well, the furry nation didn't exist back then, so that's one. But I do have a question. I've been listening to the show the whole time, trying to understand what actually happened. Okay, and I have a question for you, and I don't want anyone to take the question out of context. It's a legitimate question. Okay. Mm. I've heard of Richard Lewis before, because I heard he came from like DreamHack and whatever, and I always keep myself at least updated with what's going on in the FGC, etc. But who specifically is he? Because I don't know him that.
Richard Lewis is the main broadcaster. He was the main broadcaster for the whole E-League, the CNN owned down in Atlanta. He basically worked with the talent, picking and choosing in the games as well. And he was like the main broadcaster for them. And, and then they would bring in, Tasty Steve and Z and, all the other guys that they, who they chose because they're paying the bills. And what it started off is as critiquing, once he's been involved in eSports for a long time. He was a writer for a lot of places, including Breitbart. So he got labeled as an alt-right guy. The guy wrote tech articles for him. That's like turning around to the guy that writes the cartoons for Playboy and say he's a fucking porn star. He writes goddamn cartoons. So people assumed and judged based on that. And he had an incident, a few years back where he choked the player. They got into a fight and he choked the player. Yeah, he choked the player. Defended himself.
That was in defense, right?
But see, in the FGC, you're not allowed to defend yourself because in any way, shape, or form, whether it's verbally or physically, because the other person feels since they're right, you have to just sit there and eat whatever they deliver to you. And that's kind of what the mentality was, where when this whole Sonic thing was going on, guys were like, oh, what are you going to choke him like you choked, this player X and X and X ago, and you're alt-writer and this and that. And it's like...
Oh, they pretty much changed the narrative on him, like much like how they do me and you.
But then, the minute, Triforce says, fuck the FGC, 600 people come on Twitter, you just don't want to hear it? Fuck you, blocked, ignored, I don't want to listen.
Because people get bits and pieces of things and then just slap it as that, or they'll look at Reddit and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is like." People will treat Reddit like it's Wikipedia, and people forget that encyclopedias existed and that you can research in books.
I can completely relate with that, boy. People think that Reddit is the gospel to them, so
they rewrite the history to what they choose. Mm-hmm. And because of that, this guy's gotten a bum rap. I mean, we've had him on the show numerous times. He's basically Triforce. He's the British version of me.
Literally.
Speaks like me, sounds like me. The only difference is because I don't know, maybe there's a stigma because he's from the UK. So the bronies and the furries think they can actually fight the dude, and it's like, it's gotten to the point now where he gave up on the FGC, kind of like you and me, really. At the end of the day, it's like, fuck y'all. I tried to help you.
He tried a lot,
and he went above and beyond
on TBS.
Well, that much I know because I made a comment. Someone brought it to my attention on Twitter. This was I think a week ago, and they said that this guy who's trying to help the FGC evolve in esports, So I had made a comment on, after the guy told me about what Richard Lewis had said. So I made a comment, literally regarding what Richard Lewis said, talking about whatever is it that he tweeted. I didn't know what he actually tweeted. I don't know what he actually said. I just got the general context of the whole thing. And so when I got the general context of it, I had made a comment. I said, and I'm reading it from my tweet. I said, I used to think perhaps my message to the FGC when I first got involved in it was presented wrong. Sometimes you have to leave room to see. Maybe it's not the people, maybe it's you. And so I said, in 2018, Richard Lewis presents the same issue regarding the FGC and esports, but in a different and more elaborate manner, and yet the FGC continues to fight against its own future. So I said, this post isn't really about Richard Lewis, it's really about me, because I close out the sentence with, I take comfort knowing that I'm still right. So I'm just saying it's because when it's not in hindsight, it's just that 16 years later from the same thing that I was preaching, someone comes along and sees the same issue and is talking about the same issue and trying to help the scene, and it's like this community is fighting against the same message. So it's clearly not the messenger.
No.
And it's not the message. It's the community.
It's
the community is the problem.
But see, here's the thing. It's not. In the end of the day, it's not the community. It's those, as we always joke, Illuminati, those that have power.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. You're right about that. So, because when you broad stroke it with community, people can get the wrong narrative about that. Because someone had right after that, what's this guy's name? His name is G Sport. Grow 870, right? He says, but how long can the FGC fight its destiny? And I told him they can't fight it. And then I used that whole Thanos line, dread it, run from it, destiny still arrive. I said the FGC as a community, because of its leaders, right? Not all of them, but they know who they are. They have long since lost power to have any significant or influential say in its future. The suits are here now, and they have the majority say.
Yeah.
And so in regards to that, it is unfortunate because the FGC as a community can't even complain because they were warned it was coming. They were warned it was coming. I had a conversation with Mike Ross privately not too long ago. Literally after, not like 2 or 3 days after he put out his his Reddit thing about why he left, and I just wanted to know if he was okay and some stuff, and it saddens me. It really does, because I feel like somehow I failed. Perhaps I didn't deliver the message properly. Something I could have probably done better to just get the scene to just defend itself more. And I'm not trying to be some type of messiah or prophet like I'm some savior. I go against that stuff. Yeah. I just wanted to, to do what I can to help the scene. But at the end of the day, I keep telling you, James, fighting games as esports has always been, and it is not going anywhere. It's only going to get better. The issue here is that the FGC will suffer.
Yeah.
That's it.
The real members of the FGC, the people that are beloved, Mike Ross was extremely beloved. Mike Ross has always been an amazing person toward me, toward just in general. I mean, even people that didn't know him on a personal level really liked him, obviously. And when that came out, it was very shocking, but then it wasn't, because it was kind of like, I mean, like what Caps was just saying, he was sick of the bullshit. Like, that's really just it. And it gets old. I mean, when you've been in the scene over 10 years, it does get old, because you see so many people cycle in and out repeatedly over and over. You see teams cycle in and out. And then the suits and it was inevitable that the FGC would be on television and get a bigger scope, which is cool. But then it's like, well, then there has to be a choice. Do you still want it to be grassroots, or do you want it to be, marginalized. And no, these people won't be forgotten, but some people will forget. I mean, you have to realize, I'm talking to the people in the stream chat because some of them were saying Mike Ross won't be forgotten. But to some of the people that are coming into the scene now, he will be.
Yeah,
these kids don't know who they are.
They won't know Mike Ross.
After a certain point in time, they won't know us. Yeah. They won't know Adonis. They won't know Yipes. They won't know Tasty Steve. They won't. I mean, no Ultra David. No one. Low tier guy. No one. Because it'll be a whole new cycle of people. It will go on and on forever.
Well, I just want to say something that they will always remember me. I think I've dug a grave so good in terms of the infamy. They will always remember me.
That fucking power glove wearing motherfucker.
So, yeah. Earlier you had said the teams that are around. Now, no, you had said the sponsors that are around. And, you know, although Empire Arcadia is not a sponsor, never have been. Just want to put that out there for people to know. We never have been a sponsor and we never will be. But we're still in there. We're still hanging on. We got our little Rogue Yoshi who re-enlisted in the team, and KDZ and Sanford's back. You know, we're still hanging in there. But come 2019, we'll be ready. Takes time to, you know, like North Korea, we're getting our nukes ready. That's what that's about.
You know, but it's what's funny is it's like, all right, you know, this community wants the money. The people that are preventing it from happening are the ones like basically what Melanie was saying. The ones that are intentionally being forgotten. Yeah. Like I said, Ultra David, yeah, you're a great commentator. Good. They don't want you. Accept it. You don't get a piece of the pie. You ain't moving on up. They don't want you. It's their money. They spend it the way they want. You know, that thing where when E-League was doing, you know, picking the spots, the commentators, and trying to do like, all right, we're doing Street Fighter, but let's get a Tekken guy. Let's get Z from Twitch. Let's get this Street Fighter guy. Let's bring in Long Island Joe. Let's bring, you know, they were trying to make the group diverse to hopefully attract more people.
Yeah.
You don't get to dictate who I hire.
No.
Actually, he tried to do that on E-League when he literally wrote on Twitter that when they picked Low Tier God, he tried to get them to replace Low Tier God. I couldn't believe he literally wrote that out on Twitter and thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. And the thing that's so funny about this entire thing, especially like what James just said and what you just said, Triforce, because I had forgotten that was actually what lit the whole stuff between LTG and Ultra David, because Ultra David has no place to even say that. Everyone that was complaining about Low Tier Guy being on the show, they just seemed bitter. It's like you're mad because somebody else got success, but you all have had your own individual success. At the end of the day, that is how show business works. Precisely what James said. That is their money. They don't have to pick you. No one cares about your years of, you know, whatever you did for the community. If they don't pick you, they did not pick you. That's it.
That's it.
And
look at Colin Kaepernick. You could say racist, this, that. Sorry, I just don't want him. I don't want the controversy. I don't give a shit if he's black, white, green, blue, purple. He could be a motherfucking Smurf for all I care. I don't like him. I don't want him. That's it. I don't have to hire him because people are like, oh, but he's a good quarterback. So what? I don't like him.
Exactly. And I am a big Simpsons fan, and I don't know if anyone, I'm sure that there are people that watched The Simpsons in the 90s, but there was an episode during the era of when Conan O'Brien wrote for The Simpsons, and it was the episode when Bart gets famous off of his like catchphrase or whatever. He's like famous all over the world, and then he's not famous after like a month or something. And he, like, Marge is in his room and she's like talking. She's like, oh, well, how do you feel, Bart? And he was like, you know, I learned that show business is a hideous bitch goddess. And it's true. I mean, that is true. Entertainment, period. That's how it works. I mean, especially if you're looking at it from the outside and you're just a viewer, it isn't all, you know, glitz and glamour and beauty. It is smoke and mirrors. Saying this from experience.
I mean,
these people that are all famous is not all what it seems to be. It's just not. It's a facade a lot of the time.
I mean, on the real, and I'll put this out there. So I just want you to know. All right, yeah, there's that fight inside of me. There's that peace and love side of me. If I was low tier God in that situation, yo, I'm telling you now, I would be putting out, and you could quote me on this, I will be putting out fucking pamphlets all over fucking Ultra David's fucking office. This guy's a pedophile. He's a drug addict. I would put out every fucking thing I could do to destroy and take the food out of his fucking mouth. This is a guy who, like him, hate him, love him, whatever. He's not a top player. He's a personality.
Exactly.
And you're taking food, or try to take food out of his mouth. I have no limit to how much I would fuck you up. I won't beat you up, because I tell people the same thing. I don't ever want to kill a person. I want to drive you so insane that you put the gun in your own mouth and do it.
And and it's so funny, like, with LTG, because obviously we had that long-standing, I guess, a beef. But I mean, I then sat and spoke with him. And then it was over. It's like those types of things. Especially over something so silly. Ultra Dave, to do something like that, I never went to and it was funny because when I was sitting and talking with LTG, he had talked about all of like the extent that people went, and where they had gotten called his job and were contacting all kind of people and trying to get him to not get a sponsor and all. And it's like, but why go to those lengths? He isn't Andre. He's not like some of these other people that y'all support who are super sketchy.
Well, to be fair and consistent, the situation when low tier God has been involved in the fighting game community for over a decade. The people at the top literally make calls to sponsors and companies and literally blacklist you.
Wow! Oh, I didn't know that.
No, that's been around for that. I'll tell you, James know it happens to me all the time. Right. But like, it's not just me. It's been a lot of other people, a lot of other players.
Course.
Of course. And that's what I don't like about like those people. But you see, it's kind of funny because now those people thought that if they blow the whistle and get sponsors or other people not to provide platform sponsorship for these teams, that would somehow give them a spot at the table. And they're starting to realize that there is no spot at the table. You're in the same boat with us. You're in the same boat with us.
Unless you have the money, no one cares about what you have to say. If you're not the decision maker at the round table, behind the veil, people, no one. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I mean, you don't have to like the guy, but and Virgil said it. He said some bigotry stuff. Yeah, so what? I understand that. Listen, I know these holy rollers and these preachers. Listen, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm gonna throw this out there in the blue. I don't care where you come from, what color you are, but sometime in your life you thought either fuck these white people or fuck these black people. That don't mean, people say shit, people think shit, people do it for shock value.
Exactly.
Just because he says some dumb shit, we all have a little racism in us. And we all have a tendency to speak sometimes before we think about what we're saying.
Right.
And that doesn't make somebody a bad person.
Yeah,
it makes you a human.
It makes you a human being. And I mean, honestly, it's even when I disagree, even when I was not cool with LTG whatsoever, and he had released that Momokun video, I agreed with 100% of it. I thought it was hilarious. And I actually told him that when I sat down with him. And I was like, yeah, even though we weren't talking at that time, I watched it and you were spot on, because those are views that I have about cosplayers that do what she does. And, it's so funny because no one is right 100% of the time at all.
Yeah.
And you can dislike someone, you can not like their view or how they portray themselves in the public. Really, it is entertainment. Everybody goes home and is someone else when they're by themselves or when they're with their loved ones or whatever, and they're not on camera and they're not at an event or they're not doing the show.
Exactly.
You know, it's different. Everyone is different. And until you are in that type of limelight, you will not understand that at all. Ever. So, you know.
Okay, so now that I kind of get a overview of who Richard Lewis is and what he's done, and so how did the situation with him and Sonic Fox even start?
He was critiquing the FGC about top players trying to get on. FGC top players basically could get to a level like the other esports games as far as making money and all that, if they would separate themselves from the losers.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then of course, you know, it evolved on. At that point, it branched out into the alt-right and fucking racist and this and you know, the banter back and forth. You know, came from you know, your opinion as an alt-righter doesn't matter. And then
that escalated quickly.
And that right away, boom. That's like, listen, if you call me a fucking racist, do not expect me to go, you know what, you're right. Conversation over. So he answered, well, and his answer was just as witty. It went along the lines of, so I should take somebody serious that likes to dress up in an adult that dresses up in a furry suit.
Because I don't get where people don't understand that people who are not racist, that don't identify with being racist at all, being called racist is awful for them. I mean, it's just as offensive as like any slur that you would say to somebody else.
I was just gonna say, even though it's definitely not on the level, but it's like calling the N-word to a black person, like to a person that's not racist. It's like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, so Sonic Fox called him racist?
They called him an alt-righter.
Alt-right, yeah.
Well, what was the basis of it? Like, what did Richard Lewis say?
Richard Lewis wrote articles for Breitbart, articles on technology and eSports. Therefore, he must be a Klansman.
What?
Oh, yeah, you heard me correct. He didn't write political articles. I mean, he did a couple, like, you know, male, female, equality type articles here and there, but nothing. He wasn't like, yo, guys, Thursday night at Charlotte Stadium, we're having a cross burning. He wasn't like that, but he wrote articles. He was like the cartoonist at Playboy. He's not a porn star. I make fucking cartoons for them. That's it. He wrote articles about technology.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
So he must be, you know, but the fact that he took a paycheck from Breitbart, but he also has written, but they don't mention the fact that he wrote for alt-right, but he also wrote for alt-left.
Exactly.
And then now the funny part, now again, remember when I got called the racist and all that, and I'm like, well, wait a second, like 99% of my friends are black, and my wife at the time was Spanish. You better let them all. You better let them all know that they're fucking hanging out with a racist. Well, they've called him misogynist, transphobe, everything that they've labeled me or you as Triforce, but he lives with a transgender woman.
Exactly.
That he's like helped out and done really opened up his door to this person. Even to the point when and don't quote me on it, but if I'm correct, they were living in Atlanta. He left E-League, now he's in Vegas, and that girl didn't have nowhere to go. He says, no, you come live with me. Come to fucking Vegas.
Right.
Like, what kind of fucking homophobic and all these obics and ists would do that? Like, wouldn't you tell them, like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here, I'm later, I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do, but I'm bouncing. No, he took the time to care. So, it's, you know, again, it's like, It's what I said years ago. Get to know me personally versus the show, and then you judge based on that.
Yep.
Don't go by Twitter and social media and say, "Oh, I know who he is. I know that type of guy," because you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because people have started to, I mean, obviously do that to me now. They did it to me anyway, but it's even more so now because of the show. Even people that knew me way before the show have started doing that to me. Like, and it's bizarre to just be in the same space because it's like you all clearly feel uncomfortable around me, but we were friends. Like, I'm not a different person.
Well, that's because they had agendas from the get-go.
Exactly.
And now, you know, labeling you makes it easier for them because, see, they never fit in with the cool kids.
Yeah.
But by bashing you, they think the cool kids are going to be like, oh, man, this guy's cool. We'll hang with him now. But they're not going to. And then they're going to. Now all they did is they alienated themselves from you.
Yep. Exactly. And I will continue to live my life and not care. I mean, my life has not stopped because people don't like me, and I think that's what people don't get in like a lot of these nerd communities. Someone else's life doesn't end because you hate them or you said some awful things about them on the internet or whatever. No one cares. No one cares. Adults move on and continue to live their lives. I have, you do, Triforce does, LTG does, Chris does, everyone does. That's how the world is. You saying fucked up shit on the internet doesn't affect my life.
I fucking told her off on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking right. Next time she see, oh wait, I'm never gonna see her.
Exactly.
You know, and that's you know, somebody's asking who's wrong and who's right, mate. It's wrong on all parts. You know, I mean, Richard could handle it different, but that's the way he chooses to handle it, and it's the effect, not the cause. The cause was, again, automatically got this bringing today's politics, and this is politics, America, Trump. You know, the gay rights, all the topics. You didn't come to the fucking arcade in 1984 to play a video game because of what happened on the outside. You went there because you wanted to escape from it. So don't fucking merge the politics of everyday world in a community that the whole point of the community was escape from that. Why do you play a game? To immerse yourself in a world that is not the world that you live in. To get that 4 hours of enjoyment out of God of War or Street Fighter or whatever game it is. And now that you are force feeding that shit into the community, so basically it's like, and I've said this a million times, stop saying the FGC is growing. I'm gonna use the fucking politically incorrect word. You're fucking retards. Look at it this way: League of Legends. Even Overwatch, Rocket League, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucking trading cards, whatever. You go to these events, 10,000 people show up to watch it. The FGC talks about Evo. Evo last year had between 10 and 15,000 fucking people show up. But what you don't realize is how shitty your games are. That 10 to 15,000 people are based on 13, 14 titles being there, not one. You need to take 20 different games, put them in a pot just to attract 10,000 people. Where Overwatch or League of Legends, one game, motherfuckers. You go to an Overwatch or a League of Legends, you don't go in the back room and see them playing Street Fighter or fucking, you know, StarCraft or Warcraft. It's their game. You know, FGC can't do that. We see that with the success of Street Fighter, of the Tekken tournament. You know, not one fighting game is strong enough to succeed on its own. Not one. And you'll never get those numbers. You're always going to have to be a pool of games just to get what you got. The minute a company turns around and they don't dump mad money in for support, that game disappears. Look at the way NRS did it with Injustice. When the money started drying up, people just stopped showing up.
Yep.
But we don't have a fan base. We're multiple games across multiple platforms to get barely what we got. You can lie to yourself and think you're growing, but you're not growing. You're just adding more games into the mix.
Yep.
You know,
and then the cycle continues, and then newer, younger players come and do the same thing that the players are doing now, because there's always going to be someone better. And later on, the cycle continues. Like we were saying earlier, these people who are legends now will be legends still, but they cannot play forever. And you all just have to come to terms with that. I mean, no one can tell me that they've gone to a tournament and not seen literal children competing. That's the next wave. When I was playing Naruto competitively, there was, who I'm actually still friends with this kid. He's an adult now, obviously. But when I was in college playing competitive Naruto, my friend Miguel used to bring his little brother who was 10 years old. He would beat me in tournament and win the tournaments. So he was beating like world champion players in that game at 10. And I mean, that happens. It's always someone new to come and cycle out and start it over. Always.
I mean, look, Sonic will always look. I don't take, as far as a player, as far as a kid, I like him. He's a good kid, but yeah. I just think he's misguided on this mantra of again forcing politics into the community.
Yeah.
You know, I don't listen. Here. I've said it a million times. Hey, motherfuckers, guess what? I voted for Trump. Call me whatever you want. I liked him. I like the bullshit. I like the bullshit he fed me. If he gets impeached, I'll give him like, all right, later, Trump. But that's who I chose. That don't mean I'm an alt-righter. That don't mean I'm a fucking, a Klansman. But that's why, what's the thing? They say keep politics and religion out of the bar, because once you start drinking and you start talking, then you start fighting.
Yeah,
keep that shit. Yeah, keep that shit. Yeah, exactly, and keep it out of the FGC. Keep it out of the FGC. Listen, nobody cares whether you're straight, gay, bi, tri, whatever you are. Do your thing. Even if I didn't agree with that lifestyle, I would still say do your thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tended, I mean, I wanted to punch a gay guy the other day. And the reason I know he's gay, he's hitting on me. And not because he's hitting on me. He turns around to me and he said, hey, did you ever see that movie? I'm like, what movie? And he's like, that movie Grease. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you look like that guy Crater Face. I said, listen, dude.
Oh.
I said, listen, dude. If you're trying to hit on me, which you obviously are, calling me fucking Crater Face is not a compliment, dude.
No, it's not.
He's like, oh, I didn't mean it that way. I'm like, but dude, I said, listen, I joked around with him. I said, I was almost gay. He goes, what? I was almost gay until you said that. I was like, you lost your chance. So, but I was like, my whole thing is like, we're shoving so much shit through social media that I knew inevitably it was going to trickle into the FGC.
Yeah,
it was inevitable to happen, and now between Gamergate and now this and all this other shit, you're hurting yourselves. And I love Sonic Fox, but I'm going to be honest. Let me ask you this, and let's keep it real here. And I don't care about his sexuality, but at the end of the day, if you were a big sponsor, and I'm not even talking like, I'm not talking like Echo and Rick Fox, would you want to, as much as Sonic is winning, would you want to kind of showcase him as the face of the FGC?
Right.
And again, here's a 20-something-year-old man where people might not agree with his lifestyle, that dresses up as a furry, and he's a black man in a community of esports that really wants to keep the black man out. Do you want to put that as an investor at the forefront to think, oh, this is going to sell? You know,
right.
and
to
it's
people that know nothing about the community. Period.
Yeah, you know, and that's what they're going to see. And again, I don't, you know, I have no issues with Sonic, what he does, but when you're trying to sell a product, you don't care about what the people in the door think. You're trying to get the people outside the door to come in.
Exactly.
And if the first thing they see is a 22-year-old young black man say, I made $400,000, my lifestyle, I like to dress up like a mascot and get my freak on with other mascots.
Or because I've made $400,000, I'm better than you. Or what do you say? Your opinion is irrelevant, or something like that.
Basically, to the effect, your opinion is irrelevant. I got $400,000. Be gone.
Yeah, that doesn't make you look like the most pleasant individual. And it always comes back to think about what you say before you say it. Just like how earlier I said that Rick Fox was a football player. That is my bad. He was on Oz, and I should have remembered, like, oh, right, he was playing basketball on Oz. That's one of my favorite shows. Anyway, but that's another story for another time. But, yeah, I mean, you just got to think about what you say before you say it, or really typing. This is the thing that's so confusing to me about people that start arguments on the internet. You are typing it. You're reading what you're saying
and saying
before you press send. This isn't like talking live or talking on a radio show or talking on TV or where you have no real room for error. You're typing it and looking at it. And then you're like, I'm still going to press send.
You know, Family Guy did something about that, and it was Brian going to the movie theater, and I forgot what movie. He was seeing some movie, and it was a black-based movie, and he's like, and he typed it out, and he looked at it, and he's like, nah, I'm just kidding, I'm going to see Baywatch or some shit. And then he hits send, and the minute he walks out of the theater, some girl punches him in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, and it like blew up because it became viral, and people just hated him. And people really don't think about their responsibility of what they say on social media, and like at all, at all. And it is just so much about your life is so traceable now, and so many things that you say are traceable. I mean, I was on Twitter from Twitter being created Twitter. So I have over 10,000 tweets or something, you know, and same with Facebook. I was on Facebook from the beginning. My Facebook email is still my college email. So that's, you know, it's like, people really don't. There's a time and a place to say things. And then and the bad times are the times that make it forever. The things that, like, you know, at the end of the day, when when Homeboy Tyson was doing the videos on the show originally, all right, that's in infamy of the start of the whole racist and homophobic and all the other BS. I can't undo it. I didn't try to undo it. Right. That happened. Listen, you know, guys don't. Look, that was me getting my little feelers out there. Where can I go with this show? In what directions? Where are the true boundaries? Yeah. I found out very quick. But the boundaries only exist for people that are disliked en masse. En masse. That's really kind of what it comes down to, I think. Because it's okay to dislike LTG. It's okay to dislike you or dislike Triforce or whoever are the bad guys of the FGC, quote unquote, or just in general of a community. But then it's not okay to dislike Ultra David. It's not okay to dislike NETO. It's not okay to dislike, because it's like, oh, well, there are the heroes and then the villains. But why? Do people ever really sit and think about that? Why are these players your heroes? They're not winning money for you. They're winning money and taking their money home with them.
Yeah. It's like what I said about with Menra and with the other guy, the loud one.
Oh.
Kava.
Yeah.
Kava.
So let me ask you this, and let's all be 199.999% honest. When he was playing that player, and they were like, "Oh man, fucking guy's fucking loud," da 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 da. They didn't say anything racist, but you know they thought it.
Right.
What if it was myself or Triforce in that chair playing him? Would have they said anything about that person yelling at us when they were playing us?
Of course not.
It would have been, nah, that's fucking funny, man. That's funny as hell. Oh, James, Triforce, you got to level up if you're going to play in the big leagues. That's what we would get. Yeah. But nah, because it's a player that you guys fucking like. Oh, you know, you guys acting the fool. You're too fucking rowdy. All right, Mariano. You know, and that's the fact is, stop lying about the diversity of the FGC and us being all united, because we're not.
Yeah, we're not,
separated. We're separated in cliques.
We're diverse, but we're not united. Like I said, It's like a bunch of tribes arguing over one.
Yeah,
it's the FGT, Fighting Tribes.
Fighting Tribes.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and unfortunately, there is no Wakanda. We're not going to wind up there. So, I mean, stop fucking lying.
Not in the FGC.
Not in the FGC. There'll never be unity because everybody has different opinions. You know,
and people like the rivalry. That's another thing too. People pretend like they don't like the drama. They do though, because if they didn't, then it would be a community, and it would be united. But it's not. So. Then there's that.
Yeah. You know, and it's, again, it's like at the end of the day, you got rid of Richard Lewis. You got mission accomplished. So now you got some jerk-off lawyer. Don't ever, listen, I don't hate the guy, but don't ever, and I swear, baby Jesus, baby bearded Jesus, listen to me well. Please, listen to me and answer my prayers. Don't ever let a cocksucker like that come to me and preach how I should be. Who the fuck are you? You're a lawyer.
Yeah.
You're a con artist, snake oil salesman, like you always call Triforce, a fucking lawyer.
Exactly.
And wait. Time out. That's not fair. There's a big difference between him as a snake oil con man, whatever, and me being a con man. He's a professional.
He passed the test certifying him as a con man. You know, but it's like, don't anybody in the fucking community. Listen, whether you know me or not, you can offer me advice. I'm always ears for advice. I mean, Melanie will tell you, I listen to everything everybody says. But don't come to me and tell me how I should be. You know, you could say, you know, Big E's hit me up in private. Yo, Jim, you kind of went a little overboard on that. Maybe you should, you know, tone it down. I appreciate your opinion. I'll store it for consideration, and I'll go from there.
Right.
But don't tell me, don't come to me and tell me you need to be like this. Look, I have no issues with straight people, gay people, bi people, tri people, whatever the fuck. You want to fuck a goddamn plant? Knock yourself out.
Right.
But don't tell me I have to accept it. And, you know,
or that you have to voice your opinion in a certain way, or you have to be this person or that person. You're who you are. Yeah. You've been this person for over 40 years. I've been who I am for over 30 years. Triforce has been who he is. Everyone, Chris, everybody that we know who is outspoken in the community, whether they are liked or not.
Just out of curiosity,
that's it.
I overheard you guys say that so Richard Lewis left the FGC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he left E-League. He left and they took another gig out in Vegas.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh. You know.
Well, did he leave because another opportunity was brought to him? Or
yes.
Yeah.
No. The FGC, the scumbag tribe, because we're gonna start naming tribes now since Triforce called the FTT. So the scumbag tribe thinks in their little fucking minds that, yeah, man, we chased them out. Actually, guys, I'm going to drop a little moment of fucking real truth here. I knew before the last time I had him on the show he was going to Vegas. He already had the gig, and we were talking about E-League at that moment in the show and all that. Listen, word of advice, people, just, you know, for you young'ums, you up-and-comings that still live in your mom's basement, you can't move to Atlanta, to Vegas, have a house, have everything laid out in 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's been planned, it's been in the works, he knows what he's doing. So he went on to a bigger and better opportunity.
But it's still within the realm of esports, though, or is it
correct?
Something
No. He's still esports. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You know,
yep.
But, you know, the FGC, you know, they know it all.
They do.
Yeah.
We'll see at Combo Breaker. I'm excited. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Combo Breaker is always fun, though.
Yeah,
so.
I'm actually upset I'm not going to Combo. I wanted to go to Combo. I just, you know, my little adventure around fucking the Mideast was
the world.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I needed it. You know, I got to talk to God. I talked to God. I actually swam in the Mediterranean. I walked the Dead Sea. I walked across the Dead Sea. Well, a little bit around it. You know, I did a fucking Dead Sea mud bath. You know, I'm all rejuvenated. A new outlook on life. I still fucking hate people, but I like a couple of people more than I used to.
You deserved it.
You know, but it's like, you know, I just wish the FGC would hear themselves. Like, look in the mirror and, like, you know, like you were saying, you hit that send key. That means you read it. Like, every fucked up tweet that I put out there, do you not think I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be good. Let's see whose fucking pants I can fucking turn in a knot on right now. And I hit send and I go, I'm never, and I don't. There's been a few. I have deleted tweets because, you know, there's that time where, like, all of a sudden people became the fucking grammar Nazis. Mm-hmm. So now I'll read something and, like, you know, fucking spell checker will do something and I wind up fucking, fuck, I put the wrong there. That's gonna give them, that's gonna give them fuel to call me illiterate. Because that's what they resort to when you get into these little Twitter wars. Oh, well, you're fucking illiterate. You don't even know you don't know the right there when to use it. You know, and it's like, really, that's my answer is usually, well, at the time it was what, 80 characters. You know, I'm like, I got 80 characters, motherfucker. You're gonna get the shortest version of there. I'm not looking to do it the right way. I'm looking at this to get a message across.
Exactly.
You know, and with Richard, when they were still coming at him, they went at him for 5 days.
Wow.
5 days it is. And they will open up alt accounts, you know, and it was like, you know what it's like? It's like Triforce. If you were like, Jimmy, I need the code to the safe. And I'd be like, nah, I'm not telling you. And then you come back 10 minutes later, I need the code to the safe. I'm not telling you. Now you come with a new account. Hey, Jimmy, this is Yipes. I need the code to the safe. Sorry, Yipes, I'm not telling you. How many times you gonna go before you realize, I ain't fucking telling you? There ain't a conversation to be had. I don't want to jump into a deep conversation, and that's what was happening with Richard. He's like, listen, this is the way it is, and that's it. Leave it. You know?
Yeah, and it's like, you're just beating a dead horse at that point. Like, why do you all have this much time on your hands to attack somebody for 5 days, whether you agree with them or not? Like,
why do you
have 5 days?
Yeah, why do you have enough time in your hands to do fucking 65 different alt accounts?
Yes,
that's like, a lot. What? You got to have a lot of cell phones and email addresses.
Jesus Christ!
You know,
wow, they went in on him.
Yeah, they went in on it. I mean, they've been going in on him for a long time.
They have. This was just the most extreme, probably. But, well, no, it's been pretty consistent. It's just been different people.
His thing is he's strong-willed.
Yeah.
You know, he's got an opinion. He vents his opinion. Right or wrong, it's how he feels. Again, it's not a matter of right or wrong. And we've said this a million times, Triforce. There is no school class course for esports business. Maybe there is now. Maybe they finally might be a couple of places to pop.
No, still not. Even the big wigs, even the suits with the $1 million that they're investing, they're still trying to navigate the new terrain. They're trying to compare it. They're trying to use actual sports models, and they're running into dead ends in certain places because esports is a whole different animal. Yes, it has similarities to regular sports, but it's its own industry, its own animal. And obviously, League of Legends, the LCS, they got it right. MLG, they got it right. But it's going to be a while before the FGC gets it right. Well, the people that's involved in fighting games, I wouldn't say the community, but they'll eventually get it.
I mean, even if you look at the other games, Counter-Strike has mad crazy problems. You know, Overwatch League is having problems. You know, I still, and it's funny because for all you haters of Richard Lewis, if you actually read the stuff he does, he's like, not only is he the British version of me, he's the British version of OBS. Because he goes out of his way to expose teams that are fucking fraudulent to players in these leagues. He tries to help people, and it's like everybody has a goal. Everybody has an end game. Let's be real here. I didn't do this show just because I was bored. I picked and chose, and everything I did is calculated. And same goes for him. I don't know what his end game is. It's what he enjoys doing. He's writing his articles. He's doing his fucking podcast. You know, and he's trying to help these scenes. But yet, the minute he says one thing you don't agree with, he's a choker.
Drama.
He's a choker. He's an alt-righter. He's homophobic. He's racist. He's a misogynist. You know, and they even resort to "you're a fat bald fuck." Like, really?
Wow.
That's the best you got? Like, really? Because Richard's probably like, yeah, whatever. Like I can't look in the mirror and say, "Oh shit, I'm not bald." I really, why'd they say that? He knows,
right.
He knows who he is. So why would you resort to that name calling bullshit? You know,
because it's elementary. It's so. It shows just the maturity level.
And that's what it is. That's how you know you're engaging in intelligent conversation. And he says shit like that. He's like, all right, yeah, more intelligent conversation. Fuck you, block. And and what's funny is people don't know they're being trolled by somebody that they think is such a nasty person. Like the whole when he blocks you has become like a thing, and people will tweet out like, oh, like for a while in the beginning. You know, when we started doing this show and Mr. Wizard and Ski Sonic and all these guys started blocking me, I would post up pictures. Oh, look, another person blocked me. He's doing it. He's doing it just on the other side. So now all these people are like, oh, I got blocked by. But yeah, you know what? You hate him so much, but you keep fueling it.
You keep exactly. You keep fueling it and you keep going back, but why? Like, you're not accomplishing let it go. You're not accomplishing anything.
You know, if you think he doesn't, if you think he doesn't like black people, guess what? You're not making him say, "Oh, I want to hang out with black people." You know, not that. And again, to correct myself, I'm using that as an example. So don't go. So I don't want to hear. I don't want to go on Twitter in an hour and say, "Oh, James MK say Richard Lewis don't like black people." That's not the case. But my point is, it's like if you're trying to accomplish some kind of goal, you're doing the opposite, and you're making the opposite effect happen.
Completely.
All right, I have one other question. So where he came from, he did other esports, correct?
Yes.
Like before fighting games.
Counter-Strike, Overwatch, League of Legends. He's been involved in everything.
All right, so I'm kind of confused here. This may be the pot calling the kettle black because, well, actually, I came from the classic gaming scene, which is almost at the same level of the SGC, so it's not that. So it's not me being a hypocrite. But for him, I am perplexed. Why go backwards? Why come from Counter-Strike and those games to the FGC? That's working backwards.
No. Theoretically, yes, you're correct, but it's kind of like you've propped up where you could prop up and go as far as you want, and now you got to come. It's like bringing up each one of them, and it's like they finally came to the FGC saying, all right, it's time to elevate the FGC, and we were like, hey, by the way, open your mouth. Thank you. We spit in your mouth.
I can completely relate because, you know, when I coming from the classic gaming scene and seeing, you know, Doom and Quake and Unreal Tournament and those games there, that's what literally made me come to the FGC, because I saw in the early 2000s, I mean like 2000, 2001, that there wasn't really an infrastructure in the FGC, and it made me come to the FGC because I thought, hey, perhaps this was a great opportunity to try to help this scene grow, which would overall make the overall esports scene across the board grow. So I that's actually commendable. I don't understand why they would attack the man for doing that. That this doesn't make any sense.
Let me just correct myself. Chigao. I'm not the statement that I was saying about black people and the racist thing is an example. That's not Richard's stance at all. I'm just saying it was a kind of a shitty example to use. Let's be honest, you know. But my point was it's not the job of the community to try and change somebody into something they want. That the card that you're dealt with that person, now you choose. Deal with them or not deal with them. Don't spend fucking the next 10 years trying to make somebody that's a so-called racist not a racist. Especially if they're older and that's it. You know, you have a time frame, you know, that stupid saying you can teach an old dog new tricks, you know. Mm-hmm. Listen, if somebody's a racist, they're going to be a racist. That's it. Accept it. You know, and again, I'm not calling him a racist. I was just using it as an example. Anyway, enough with that. You know,
I have to work early and I'm sleepy, so I may be leaving you guys.
I'm pretty much done on my own. You guys, listening to you guys the entire time, actually, I've learned a lot about the situation. So, because someone tweeted me, they didn't tweet at me, but they mentioned me, and they said Triforce is a big fan of Richard Lewis, and I don't know where that come from, because I was like, what are they talking about? So that's why when you messaged me, James, tonight, and you invited me to the show, I was like, I thought it was connected to that. Well, actually, in a sense, it is kind of connected to that. But to the guy who wrote that tweet, first of all, this is no disrespect to Richard Lewis. I don't know Richard Lewis to be a fan of him. I don't know where you got that from. It's like people just write anything on the internet and just make stuff up. But
someone believes it.
Well, a couple of people commented, and obviously, they're going to follow suit and they're just going to believe whatever's written online. But I'm glad that I've actually know a little bit more about it, because I know that somehow that's going to circle back to come to me. And at least now I'm not ignorant to the whole situation, and I can clearly make statements that needs to be made to do the whole to address that whole situation. But this is unfortunate that the man came down to the FGC, tried to help it, and the FGC literally barked him, like literally attacked him. Like that's. But then at the same time, I'm not surprised, because it's the FGC.
That's the FGC. Like I said, the guys that feel that the OGs that say to themselves, well, fuck, man, I put a lot of time in this and I haven't reaped the rewards that I think I should get. Now this is their way of saying, well, it's my turn, and give me, and if I got to step on people to get it, that's fine. And at the end of the day, all that's doing is saying, look, don't tell me how to spend my money. If I'm an esports organization or I'm the suits, I ain't fucking listening to you.
Right.
It's my money. I hire who I want. I don't like Kaepernick. I don't have to hire Kaepernick. Don't tell me because he's a young black quarterback and he's like the 14th best quarterback. Well, I want the 16th best quarterback. I like him better. And that's the problem with the FGC, is those people that have been around are doing that now. You need to use me to do the commentating. No, I don't. They even brought in Ultra David. And he stabbed them.
What happened?
And he stabs them all in the back. He goes into his little super emo fucking, dude. He literally went out and tried to take.
Who? He pulled the Julius Caesar card at the time where Richard Lewis had basically provided some push for Ultra David in the E League for Ultra Street Fighter. Spoke too soon about in the future about Street Fighter 5, but for Street Fighter 5, and he mentioned this in the past broadcast where Ultra David started slandering him after esports into the matter on some of the past shit that what happened with Richard Lewis. And it gone fucking bonkers that Richard Lewis was wondering why the fuck he brought that shit up.
Wow. The hand that feeds you.
Yep.
Yep.
Love biting it, boy.
So
Love biting it.
I need to basically bring up one thing because I was talking to Chigao throughout the whole conversation, and I feel that I should basically share this with James. And by the way, James, I miss you. We should drink one day.
Before you guys, just really quick, before you guys bring this up, yeah. I'm going to go to sleep.
I figured that. I figured that.
Extremely tired.
All right.
Yes. So I will talk to you all later. Have a good rest of the show. But I'm
okay. Good night, Mel.
Good night, Mel.
All right.
Chigao, I already had discussed with you in the chat, and I want to be able to at least recap with everybody else what I had said. Chigao appeared asking about what has been going on, what was we talking about exactly, onto the discussion about Richard Lewis. I gave him the short version, and I gave him the long version. He could choose one or the other, so at the very least, he's caught up with everybody else. So what ends up happening is, this is where I was basically also discussing somebody on the chat about when it comes to the FGC choosing ignorance. Chigao chose ignorance, all right? You could choose to basically go about what has basically been talked about, and you could go about it from there, but if you're going to choose exactly because you hear, oh, well, this person's from Breitbart, and suddenly you're going to just go about it just that, and let alone not go about what's actually been happening most recently, what Richard Lewis has done, then you're at the wrong for choosing ignorance. So, all I'm set to say, Chigao, if you chose ignorance, just be ignorant. Well, if you're beyond ignorant, man, I mean, whatever rocks your boat or sinks it. But
I mean, look, listen. All right, Breitbart is an alt-right site, okay, racist site, whatever you want to call it. All right, the fact that the guy wrote tech articles for it, okay, you know, who reads tech art? It don't matter. It's a fucking job.
Okay, hold on, time out. Hold on. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate, but I would like to be realistic here.
Yeah.
Regarding this site being racist. I don't know the site. Don't care. If you're gonna call Breitbart racist, so is Reddit. So is RCappa.
Reddit is RCappa. You're correct.
So is RCappa. So is
YouTube. So is Kotaku. So is Twitter.
If anybody ever posted anything on Reddit, you're a racist.
No,
you're a racist.
The thing is, any site that allows any type of racist speech to just be said, and it's just said, then one can make the argument that the site's racist. I put out my videos. I don't know if you guys know much about the elder gods and how they're taking, literally knocking them one by one. First time.
Actually, Chigao, it is because he's saying that it's not the same as Reddit and
no, Chico, I've read my share of posts on Reddit, and my man, dudes have called me everything from baboon, chimp, monkey, the N-word, all different versions of the N-word.
He hasn't been RCappa, try. He hasn't been in RCappa. RCappa is the limbo. It's not even in hell or purgatory. It's limbo.
And they allow it to happen, and there are people who go and support the type of things that's written on those sites. Same thing for YouTube. Now, what I'm trying to say is that that doesn't make the platform racist. It's just a platform where people feel that they can go and voice their racist opinion. So just because you're on the site doesn't make you racist because you're on a site that people make racist comments on. Because if that's the case, then everyone who has a Reddit account or a subreddit account, whatever, or cap or whatever you want to call it, they're racist too, because they don't mod any of that crap. They just let it rock.
Just let it rock.
The YouTube go ham too. YouTube just let it all rock. I'm like, Have you seen what just happened with Trump and the JPCOA deal? Like, oh man, depending on which news site you're going into, dudes is going from everything from anti-Semite to straight out racism, Nazis everywhere. Like, dudes is just they're just going ham on each other.
And not just only that, also with freaking this guy, Jake Paul, where at one time he went to Japan. I was pissed off about this. I mean, I haven't been to Japan, but I had family that lived in Japan that moved here into America. But if you're going to go to a forbidden forest and you're familiar with it, but then like suddenly after you get demonized, because I took part in that, but at the fact that you're gonna go and say, oh, but I actually blame my unfamiliarities because of culturism, I call bullshit about that. And the fact that basically YouTube is giving this guy a little bit of leeway is already proven enough of what Triforce had already said, and pretty much what everybody's already looking at, and they're not out of their fucking minds of what entirely has been going on when it comes to social media.
I just think it's just a platform, because look what Dread Knight Kathy said. Chigo had to have read Bread Bite to know it's racist, which means that means Chigo has visited the site. Now, am I going to say, well, you went to the site, so you're a racist too? No. Even if you posted on the site, that doesn't make you a racist. It depends on what you post. In this day and age, man, you have to judge people by individually. I know it's hard, but you can't broad stroke. You just can't. So if he's on a site that's known for racism, well, what does he post on the site? Yeah. You know, I post on YouTube. YouTube has a lot of racist stuff on it, but is my content racist on YouTube? No. So you can't call me a racist because I'm on a site that allows racism to exist. You just can't do that. You can't broad stroke, man.
The example I used earlier is, you know, I worked at a pizzeria and a club that John Gotti owned. Does that make me a mobster?
I would actually say the same thing for myself, because I worked at a brick oven spot over in Westchester, and it's called Goodfellas. Am I part of a mob too?
Well, no. I mean, I actually worked for John Gotti.
Oh, John. Oh, yeah. I mean, old school.
That's a little different. So, like, but you know, I'm not in the mafia. I just worked at a fucking place he had. I was trying to draw a paycheck. You know, Richard Lewis is written for Breitbart, and he's also written for the Daily Dot. So we got alt left, alt right. What is he?
See, the thing is that, okay, Chigo, I'll give you some leeway about this, because James has the episode with Richard Lewis discussing on his background. And if you're willing to, at the very least, not to choose ignorance and basically know what the deal is with Richard Lewis, then at the very least, because if you could be able to choose to have the point of understanding what Breitbart is, then you could be able to have a choice to basically know what Richard Lewis is. Because it's kind of like this as well. If you look at other articles that, you know, it could be from like either Polygon or from another bullshit writer's journal, Event Hubs. Sometimes I even say for myself that certain articles are just fucking clickbait, but there are some articles that end up being at least more readable than the others. So if you're willing to basically see one of the episodes that James has up that actually explains about Richard Lewis's background when James interviewed him along with Moxie, then you should actually take that initiative. If you could be able to invest that much time, then you could be able to invest much time to be able to see other things, to be able to know what's going on, other than choosing ignorance.
Well, wait, with the Chigo, I don't think you understand my point. I'm reading your comments. What you're saying and what I'm saying is two different things. What I'm saying is this: regardless if the Chigo, whatever this Brett, what was it called? Breitbart,
yeah.
Breitbart, whether Breitbart is a racist site or not, whether YouTube is a racist site, whether Reddit's a racist site, those racist sites do not mean that every single person on it is racist. The point I'm making is, what content has Richard Lewis Richard Lewis written on the site. Now I'm reading some other guy here who said, I've read the articles that Richard Lewis posted on the site and has nothing to do with any alt-leftists or anything like this. So how can you say he's racist because he's on a racist site? We're all on racist site every day. The internet is racist. Like, are you kidding me?
It's completely racist.
The internet is the breeding ground for racism because you can hide behind a screen. So, like, you can't say he's racist because he's posting on a racist site. I'm not arguing with you whether or not the site is racist or not. You probably are right. The site is probably racist, but that does not make Richard Lewis a racist because he writes on a racist site. That's not how it works.
And this is where he's going to choose ignorance.
Well, he's still arguing a different point. He says Triforce. For the last time, Breitbart is not the same thing as Reddit or YouTube. Okay.
It
all
is.
Right. Wait, time out.
He
Okay,
needs to go to Arcaba.
Chigo, fine. I'm going to judge Breitbart on its own individual basis. As a standalone site, I'm going to go with what you're saying. It's a racist site. I'm just going to take your word for it. That does not mean Richard Lewis is racist. So you still, that's the point I'm making. Just because he writes on the site does not mean he's racist. Guilt by association, you can't change his mind. And then I don't know what to tell you, man, because like that's just that right there is stupid.
Yeah, that's somebody
Striker Dragoon.
They don't want to think. They don't want to think outside of the box. They can't. You know, this is what happens when people get programmed to be a certain way, and they don't have the ability to think for themselves. That's really what it comes down to.
I will actually say one thing to Soul at the time. This is particularly the main reason why when it came to my experiences, and I thank James for warning me about the rabbit hole, that I still have my sanity till this very day and I'm coming back. But this is particularly the main reason why when it comes to the FGC, they choose ignorance other than trying to have an open-stated mind. And yes, you're right to have about an open-stated mind, but I speak about when it comes to reality, where people choose to have ignorance rather than have an open-stated mind. So I didn't disagree with you. It's just I'm gonna basically speak how I felt based off my experiences. Regardless, there is some positivity towards the FGC, but it's overshadowing the negatives, and those negatives do have to definitely be removed. See.
All right. So with that said, we're not going to change his mind. So
yeah, we're not.
My ass has got to wrap up. It's 1:30 in the morning, and my ass has got to get up early. I got to get up in 2.5 hours for work.
All right.
So
that's my cue too, and it's 12 over here, so yeah. I need to go launch this video in the morning anyway. But thanks for having me on, James. I really appreciate it. This was actually very interesting and enlightening. I'm gonna probably reach out to Richard Lewis and have a one-on-one talk with him and get his thoughts on it.
Yeah. He's definitely a good dude. He gets hate, but you know that just tells you he's doing something right.
It's nice also talking to you, Triforce, as well. It's nice small talks.
Nice talking to you. What's your name again? I never got your name.
James calls me Pitbull.
Okay.
Because of my shiny bald head.
Because he looks like the fucking rapper.
But I'm known. My name is Yoru, but you can call me Frank if my first native name doesn't actually fit for anybody to pronounce it correctly. Because for some reason, people don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
You say Yodo, Yoto, or
Yoru?
Yoru.
Yeah.
Yoru. Okay, wait. Native American?
No, native, as in like Japanese.
Oh, Japanese. Okay. All right, Yodo. Thanks. It was nice talking to you. We definitely need to talk some more and whatnot.
Definitely.
But thanks both of you guys for having me on. I am going to go grab something to eat and hit the sack myself. So good night to you guys.
All right. Have a good one, man.
Oh, Mike. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm bouncing. We will talk. I'm dropping this. My ass has got to get up early. So
we gotta meet up sometime, James.
I stopped drinking, man. I go to the gym now every fucking day.
We don't have to drink. We could lift. I could lift. You seen what I've been doing during the time when I was at the JFK. Yeah. we talked about that.
All right. Anyway, let me bounce because I got to get some sleep.
All right. Have a good one, James. Nice talking to you, man.
All right, brother.
Welcome home.
Yeah. All right, guys. So anyway, just to wrap up, you know, this shit, this FGC grassroots versus fucking esports crap, and these people that are claiming to be looking to help the community, don't buy into their bullshit. You know, go to events, have fun. I don't tell anybody don't go to said event. Go to every fucking event you can go. You know, find a tribe, as Triforce said. Find a tribe of people in the FGC that you vibe with, and just build friendships, play games, have fun. Because eventually you're going to get old as fuck like me, and you can't do it no more, or you suck, and you're going to start doubting yourself. But with that, guys, I got to definitely bounce because my ass has got to get up, and I'm working at the World Trade Center tomorrow, and it takes like 2 hours to get in the building. So, peace.